Hello, hello, hello. We are back, and today I would like to focus on something I would call a checklist for export. You are a producer of drinks, snacks, house products, and finally decided that you are ready to crack export and introduce your products to the international consumers. So, what should be your next step? First of all, I assume that you are a brand that is already established in your local market. Therefore, you have a strategy, you have a marketing plan, so you know what you are doing. Before going into export, I would ask myself, are you an actual producer of the product? Do you have sub-producers? Do you have a complete control over your brand? Do you have a clear understanding what the responsibilities of the sub-producers are? What is the exclusivity contract? Do you have an exclusivity contract? Also, do you have a plan B in case your producer or subcontractor decides to stop working with you? One of the very important points is the packaging and your ability as a producer to alternate it to the needs of the market. So also when you go into foreign markets, say you want to sell your snacks into Japan, it's worth looking at what the competition is offering, and their design is very busy, is very loud. Perhaps you have to make some adjustments to the product, whether it's expanding the product window, like in this case, going from smaller window to the bigger window, maybe making your USP a bit larger. Here you have an example of a great product. Brand obviously understands what the communication should look like for its customers, how to attract their attention. Then in the back, it's very important that you have multiple languages so you can cater to different countries. Now, let's jump into logistics. It's important to understand how your product is palletized, whether the product comes in a cardboard or in shrink wrap. Some of the markets would not accept shrink wrap due to the sustainability and environmental reasons. Are you able to ship the goods into foreign markets? How does your product behave after, say, a month on the sea going to Latin America or Japan? Very often when you go to a foreign market, the process of sampling, sending the samples, receiving the feedback takes from 1 to 2 months. Then, once a decision is taken and your product gets listed, if the legal preparations are starting, you need to have all the product analysis in place, the international documents that allow you to ship your product to foreign markets. The registration process in certain markets like Middle East takes from 1 to 3 months. There is no way of speeding up this process. Every product needs to go through this, needs to be accepted, needs to be analyzed, the documents need to be submitted, and then once the registration is through, you are able to start selling your product. Then it's time for the shipment, and you often have to allow about 4 to 6 weeks to ship from Europe to Asia, to Middle East, or to Latin America. So effectively, from the moment of making the first contact, even if it's a contact that you have nurtured for many years, it still takes 3 to 5 months to get the product from the tasting phase to the selling phase in the retail. And coming from that, you also need to think about finance. As a producer, you want to start selling into export markets that are everywhere outside of Europe. You need to allow at least 4 weeks. So 6 weeks since the moment of shipping, they will be available in the designated market. So have this in mind for a distributor who might ask you for extended payment terms. In this case, it would be 60 days, because literally it takes about a month and a half or 2 months to get the product from shipping to arriving in the warehouse, and then offloading it and then putting it in the warehouse of a retailer or wholesaler or their customer. If you are looking to develop your brands in export, want to consult some of your plans, these are the great experts that will help you to develop your brand into those export markets. If you want to see more of my videos, please go to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you have enjoyed this one. Please leave me your comment. I would love to hear back from you, and see you next time.